Through our hidden cameras, you and I are about to witness real stories caught on tape. We document the raw heartbreak caused by a cheating partner. This show is dedicated to loyal partners everywhere, exposing the deceitful ones, hoping to guide them back to honesty and basic decency. Later on in this dramatic episode of Cheaters, our investigators dug deep, uncovering that Dwight actually shares a child with this other woman. Emotions spiral completely out of control. The confrontation escalates rapidly. Crew members scramble to make sure everyone stays conscious. Security rushes in to help. Panic erupts as the crew frantically calls for medical backup. Total chaos erupts. They urgently turn the distressed victim onto her side to breathe. This raw reality television is brought to you by the Cheaters Private Investigation Team. Welcome to yet another chaotic installment of reality television right here on Cheaters. Meet Bridget Braun, a call center worker heavily distressed by her boyfriend's shady behavior. She deeply questions their entire romance. Bridget begs our team for answers. She and Dwight have been dating for a year, first crossing paths while she studied at a park. He was out jogging and completely out of the blue approached her, delivering a wonderfully flattering compliment. He told her she looked like an angel, claiming he felt like he had just stumbled into heaven. That charming remark totally swept Bridget off her feet. They swapped numbers and quickly went on a date. One thing naturally led to another, and soon they were practically seeing each other daily. She found him deeply compassionate. They shared smart conversations, and around him, her worries just completely vanished. But recently, red flags started popping up for Bridget, mainly because she is never allowed over to his place. To make matters worse, he only ever visits her for a few short hours late at night. He refuses to ever sleep over, leaving Bridget to seriously question if it is entirely possible that another woman is secretly involved. Dwight claims his 70-year-old mother is severely ill and needs constant medical care. He says she takes heavy medication for possible cancer. Though Bridget has never actually met the woman, Bridget desperately wants into his family. After a full year, she feels she has earned his last name. She longs to be his loyal wife, determined to lock the man down one way or another. Age 28, a rideshare driver currently accused of causing a massive wreck on the highway of love. Let's watch as Cheaters kicks off the investigation outside the suspect's home. Moments later, our detectives finally spot the target known as Dwight, pulling away in his dark truck. The man navigates the slick, wet streets toward a nearby commuter train station. Bridget remembered a suspicious moment weeks ago when a sudden phone call sent Dwight rushing home to grab something. She figured that panicked detour was the perfect opportunity to finally meet his sick mother. But when she asked to go inside with him, he firmly ordered her to remain in the vehicle. He acted incredibly frantic, aggressively demanding that she stay completely hidden inside his parked car. That harsh rejection absolutely broke her heart, since she desperately wanted to meet his family. The sudden hostility stung deeply. She simply sat there in the passenger seat, shaking her head in total disbelief at his shady reaction. When the frantic driver finally returned to his vehicle outside, she finally convinced the man to drive home. Now we watch Dwight meet a mystery passenger near the train stop. Watch as he escorts the mystery woman to his vehicle. Dwight drives his passenger through the streets, entirely unaware our team is following. The pair travels straight to the suspect's residence. After parking, Dwight plays the gentleman carrying the unknown woman's bag as they approach the house. The victim felt completely betrayed, convinced he was hiding dark secrets while she remained totally honest. Her faith in romance was gone. She was just exhausted from the constant emotional damage. If the infidelity turned out true, she swore off men entirely, threatening to only date women from that day forward. Our Cheaters agents maintain a strict surveillance of his home. Hours later, the Uber driver steps outside with the same passenger from our earlier stakeout. The illicit couple takes the truck securely tailed by Cheaters. Dwight drives toward a local grocery store. He drops the woman off, now identified only as Shaniqua, right at the entrance. Dwight leaves his truck in the lot and hurries inside to join his mistress. A little while later, Dwight and Shaniqua exit carrying their fresh groceries. Dwight hauls a heavy case of water on his shoulder, loading it into the back of his vehicle. The two alleged adulterers head right back to the suspect's residence. Dwight carries the bulk of the heavy groceries, trailing closely behind Shaniqua into the house. Look closely here. Our cheater's operative grabs a quick shot inside the truck. Sitting right there in the back is an empty car seat. Investigators continue monitoring the suspect's house. Eventually, the suspect pulls his truck right up to the front of the home. He heads inside and returns just a few minutes later, hauling a full laundry basket. Dwight tosses the dirty clothes and detergent into his truck. The cheating suspect and his mistress drive across town. They finally arrive at a local laundromat. Dwight carries the heavy laundry basket inside. He walks back to the vehicle to grab one final item, the car seat. Only this time, there is a baby inside. Following Shaniqua, the suspect hauls both the seat and the child into the laundromat. Dwight loads a pile of dirty clothing into one of the washing machines. While waiting for the wash, Shaniqua and the child ride a small carousel. Dwight stands nearby watching them. Let's review the blatant deception uncovered in this recorded phone call. He answered the call. She asked what he was doing at the Washington Club, and he played along. He lied, claiming he was just studying at the bar and missing her terribly. She missed him too, begging to see him later that night. He hesitated awkwardly. He promised to see what he could arrange after leaving the Washington Club. She told him she loved him and could not wait for a visit. When pressed about his true feelings, he offered a weak excuse, insisting those exact words meant he loved her equally. She finally said goodbye. He promised to visit her tonight. Then she hung up. A little while later, the couple keeps the child entertained inside the laundromat as their wet clothes finally dry. Eventually, Dwight and his child's mother step out of the washateria. Shaniqua quickly hops into the pickup with their baby. The trio cruises across town, returning the exact same way to the suspect's house. Cheaters investigators get ready to dial an incredibly anxious Bridget. Let's watch this brutal confrontation unfold. Now that the cheating suspect has proven his deceitful intentions, the team calls Bridget, bracing her for the incredibly brutal reality ahead. Deeply confused, we watch her try to cut through this terrible uncertainty. Bridget finally agrees to meet. The host looked at her. "Bridget, I understand that this took a lot of courage," he said, "and a whole lot of thought on your part. Are you truly ready to watch the surveillance footage?" "Yes, I'm prepared." He nodded. "Okay." He played the tape. "Bridget, we are parked right outside Dwight's residence." That is exactly when Dwight walks outside. He gets into his black truck and drives off. Our detectives trailed him through the heavy rain. He eventually pulls into a train station. Because of the pouring rain, he sprints across the street to the bus stop, greeting this unknown woman. "Recognize her?" She shook her head no. Then he escorts her to his truck. She actually slides into the driver's seat, which struck us as pretty strange. "Do you have any idea why she would do that?" "No," she sighed. "Okay, well, they leave the train station. They head straight back to Dwight's house and stay inside for the day." The video cuts. Later in the investigation, Bridget, we're back outside Dwight's home. Eventually, he walks out with that exact same woman from yesterday. She climbs right into the back seat of his pickup truck. They drive to the grocery store to shop. Now I got some shocking intel from our detective. It turns out Dwight actually shares a child with this woman he's living with. That baby is actually his child. I mean, when you really process that fact, it is just shocking. How would you even handle that? Bridget suddenly slumped forward. "Are you all right, hey? Are you all right?" She collapsed entirely. "Grab her! Guys, get in here! Hurry!" Chaos erupted in the van. "Help me out! Turn her onto her side right now!" "Turn her over on her side. Roll her onto her side. Hurry!" "Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Keep her on her side. Keep her on her side. Give her some breathing room. Someone take that camera." "Bridget, Bridget, Bridget, no, stay awake. Bridget, no. Bridget, look at me. Bridget, no, Bridget. Come on, Bridget. Bridget, 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 please listen to me. I need you to breathe and calm down. The host hovered over her. "Bridget, are you ready to sit up, or do you need a minute?" She weakly whispered. "Help me up." "Today, you and I are investigating Bridget's case." The cameras caught his truck outside the house. He grabbed a laundry basket, threw it in the back seat, and drove off. The private detectives trailed his vehicle. He drove quite a distance before finally arriving at a laundromat. That is where he parked his truck. He grabbed the laundry, and then he brought out a baby. Bridget was visibly shaken by this. She demanded a confrontation right away, insisting they go and face him face to face right then. She wanted answers for all her questions, exhausted from all the lies and the constant deceit. She made it completely clear. She wanted to see him immediately. The crew mobilized. Clark radioed Gomez for an update as the team hit the road for the ambush. Gomez confirmed the suspect was inside the laundromat with the same woman and the young child. The host acknowledged the update and prepared to arrive. The targets were spotted just inside over to the right. The team moved. They rushed inside to the right side. Bridget exploded the second she saw him screaming about his empty promises of love. She couldn't believe his betrayal, quickly turning her absolute rage toward the other woman. The other woman fired right back, demanding to know who Bridget was instead. Both claimed him as their man. Total chaos erupted. The other woman claimed they had been dating for a whole year. Bridget was completely stunned, shocked by the revelation of a year-long secret affair. The cameras captured the mess as Bridget shouted they had dated for 6 years. It became perfectly clear that Dwight had been spinning terrible lies to both women. He actually claimed their shared house belonged to his sick mother. You and I need to look at this ridiculous evidence together. Someone needed to expose this lying man. The trap was fully sprung. Dwight was caught on camera with nowhere left to hide. The other woman still claimed total ignorance about Bridget's true identity. She swore she had never seen Bridget before today. She genuinely thought Bridget was just the sick mother Dwight had been talking about. He even faked a story about terminal cancer to cover his deceitful tracks. The detectives then dropped the ultimate bomb. Dwight actually fathered a child with the mistress. Bridget screamed at him again, totally heartbroken by his fake declarations of real love. Dwight weakly tried to play it cool, mentioning laundry. The deception was staggering. He had constantly sworn he loved her deeply. They had been together for a long time. The ultimate betrayal. When the cameras caught them right there in the middle of the laundromat, a frantic phone call added to the swirling chaos. The mistress was visibly shaking, absolutely furious. She had wasted a whole year of her life. It was painfully obvious he loved nobody. What do you and I make of Dwight playing dumb and acting clueless? A truly pathetic excuse from a totally busted man. Today, you and I are watching a secret 6-year marriage explode right on camera. The stunned mistress swore he hid the marriage and lied about his own mother. The wife insisted they needed to speak, exposing how he had played them both. Dwight. One woman claimed a year, while the wife argued they shared 6 long years. As the two women began talking, the host pulled Dwight aside for a second. Our investigator demanded to know exactly what happened and why he stopped being with her. He pressed Dwight about the 6-year relationship, their shared child, and what went completely wrong. Dwight frantically tried to explain how he met the newest woman. He callously described his new mistress as just a quick fling. Meanwhile, the mistress complained she had tried meeting his mother, completely unaware that he actually lived with his wife. She felt like an absolute fool, realizing the wife had been there all along. Dwight ridiculously claimed his wife was just someone helping out with their new baby. He pointed at his angry wife, calling her totally crazy. He loudly wondered what was wrong with her. Tensions. The situation quickly turned highly physical. 6 years wasted. Our team frantically tried to stop the violent physical altercation. Security warned them to stop hitting, reminding everyone that the police were right nearby. The mistress desperately begged everyone to calm down so she could finally speak with him. She just desperately wanted some real answers. The wife angrily reacted to being violently shoved. "Wait there. Step back. Stop. Hey, The wife reiterated their long 6-year history, mocking the other woman's shorter romance. He had literally just proposed recently. Dwight blamed their cheating on an argument. He shockingly blamed his pregnant wife's hormones for their recent relationship issues. The wife demanded to know how often. Dwight arrogantly claimed he lost count. She realized he was hiding the truth. He acted like everyone else was being totally crazy. The mistress declared she was completely done looking like a pathetic fool. At this point, you and I can see the two victims finally connecting. The wife calmly asked the mistress for her real name. Shaniqua nervously replied. Shaniqua insisted she just wanted a peaceful conversation without any more violent fighting. She wanted to talk woman to woman, treating each other like sensible human beings. They began piecing the timeline together. Both women admitted they were incredibly angry about the entire messy deception. The wife sincerely apologized for violently putting her hands on the unsuspecting mistress. Stick with me. This ends with them bonding over how he first approached her at the park. Let's unpack this relationship drama. At the park, he'd called her a beautiful angel from heaven. The other woman asked if he had mentioned his real fiancée when they were getting married. She clarified he proposed on her birthday, getting a firm no. The host confronted Dwight, pointing out his two girls were finally standing there exchanging the truth. Dwight argued they were just sharing sides, asking if the host felt bad for orchestrating this supposedly amazing guy. The host simply replied that they exposed cheaters for a living. She realized a whole year was totally gone. She cruelly asked how it felt having a baby with someone who didn't even want her. Demanding answers, she screamed to know where he was, even with him standing right there. She begged the guy for answers. She was furious he wasted her year when he already had a full wife and a hidden child waiting at home. She desperately begged to know his reasoning. He defended himself, claiming he never wanted anything serious and that she foolishly fell in love. He coldly told her she made her own choice, trying to brush off the blame completely. The other woman snapped, claiming she had been trying to get rid of her for ages. Was she even okay? She paced, furious about her lost year, while the others kept telling her to just relax. Listen. She asked how he knew he wouldn't just betray Shaniqua next. They pressed him about his wife, demanding to know her fate, and his poor child as well. She asked about protection. He absolutely hadn't. Get this. They confirmed absolutely zero protection was used either. They shared a baby, and she even flaunted a ring on that finger. Panicking about diseases, one woman anxiously asked if the other had gotten tested. She proudly confirmed she got tested regularly and smugly offered to show her medical results. The rival demanded to see those results immediately, throwing harsh shade at her physical appearance. Exhausted, someone asked if they were leaving, clearly ready to just head home. Nobody really knew anymore. They finally waved the cameras off. She was finished. He urged his partner to just quit. He told her to stop entertaining the drama, desperate to drag her away. She demanded to be taken home, but then turned to address the audience directly. She advised viewers to stay in school, avoid foolishness, and never trust just one person. Thank you so much. With this wild street confrontation, unleashing the perfect dramatic storm, Bridget realized massive changes were immediately required for her relationship. Later on, the show revealed Bridget's ultimate action plan for moving forward. Next up, Kelly Torres returned to the show. She arrived to share crazy new details about chasing down her cheating boyfriend that day. Kelly admitted that seeing the surveillance footage left her completely frozen in absolute shock. You and I both know the feeling. She trusted him deeply, completely torn 50-50 on the messy infidelity rumors. She barely even believed he was actually sneaking around behind her back. But after watching that surveillance footage, she was just... It was an absolute mess of emotions. She felt so incredibly hurt, confused, second-guessing herself completely, questioning him. Why was he doing this? What on earth did she do to cause this? She thought they were completely fine. It was deeply hurtful. She was just... The heartbreak was instant. She couldn't. It felt exactly like a sudden stabbing to the heart. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. What the hell is your problem? Is your problem. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? It's okay. You listen to me. No, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. What is this? Let me talk to you. As for the other girl, she didn't know if the mistress knew. She just didn't know her side. She was just furious with him. But then, once she realized the other woman was completely in the dark, just like she was, it actually made her feel a little bit better too. You know, to see the other girl getting just as angry with him as she was, to sit there and watch her refuse to take his crap either. So she ended up feeling bad for her too. But Bridget had been putting up with his lies for 2 whole years. Let's be real here. She didn't know what else he'd done those last 2 years. This deception could have been going on forever. She had no clue. There could easily be other women she just didn't catch. Come here. Come here. Mother yo ass over. Over. Give up, Steven. You. Come here. You're gonna talk to me right now. What are all these people here for? They're here catching you. Me and you. Me and you and that bitch. We need to fix this. It's about me and you. No, this is over. You lied to me. I'm done running. From what? 'Cause you got tired after everything. Later on, he tried to contact her a few times. She wasn't having it. He even tried going through friends. She hopes he's finally moved on and just left her alone for good at least. She's just been completely focused on her business and things of that nature. As for the whole dating scene right now, she let him get incredibly close to her. Closer than she'd ever let anybody else. And he totally screwed it up. Now he's ruined trust for a lot of people, unfortunately. But she's never going to allow that to happen to her ever again. Together, we watch Bridget take steps to remove the suspect from her life. Cleansing herself of that toxic environment, Bridget opened up to our cheaters investigation team. She told us exactly what she would do if she caught him cheating. Bridget found a fantastic woman who appreciates her and showers her with affection. Someone who is loyal and honest. She openly acknowledges that she is finished dating men. Now let's look at Dwight. The suspect felt blindsided by the sudden confrontation, but has since forgiven Bridget, admitting his own dark wrongdoings. Dwight told our producers he was wrong for lying to Bridget and such, but he is never leaving Shaniqua. She is his baby mama, so obviously he will stay with her. At first, the suspect's mistress Shaniqua was raging mad about Dwight's infidelity. She refused to speak with producers about the messy situation. But when pressed hard, she plainly stated she comes from a broken home and simply refuses to let her own child grow up in that manner. You never even cry, and my heart is broken. Now remember, if we skip television programming from Goldstein's, why we will both lose money.